We will not copyright or trademark that. We do not have the rights to this at all. Please do not sue us. Thank
you. Welcome to These Unprecedented Gays, featuring Joe Granelli and Paul Smith. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, and review wherever you stream your podcasts. Check us out on Instagram at tugayspod and email us at tugayspod@yahoo.com. We hope you enjoy. Has your mom texted back yet? Is she okay?
No. Oh my God. So should I call her back? It was 2.
Well, not right now, not when we're on the air.
She probably wouldn't pick up either. It says emergency SOS. Sue Granelli, that's my mom's name. Susan Granelli has made an emergency call. You are receiving this message because Susan has listed you as an emergency contact twice. And then I text message her, are you okay? I am getting SOS messages. Nothing. She's probably in her purse.
Yeah.
She's probably like, what's happening? Because my parents don't lock their phone. Like, they are not locked, but they don't press, like, the side button.
Oh, okay.
So, like, it'll be on, right? Or it'll be unlocked, and they'll just be like, doop-a-doop, boop, and then they put it in their pants or, like, in their purse or whatever. And I'll have, like, random times where, like, my dad will call me, quotes, I'm using air quotes, to call, and nothing is there. And I'm like, Dad, what's going on? He's like, oh, my phone was in the pocket. I was like, I hope to God I never do that. I honestly, every day I get older, I'm just like, I'm going to kill myself with euthanasia at, like, 55. I don't want to get to the point where, like, I can't, like, make a phone call or, like, my body's done. I'm like, I'm going to bow out when I'm on a high note.
Well, I told you about the time, like, somebody called the office and left a message on our voicemail, and she, like, went for, like, 9 minutes.
Oh, my God.
But I listened to the whole thing because the woman called, left a message, forgot to hang up the phone, and I can hear her at the pharmacy complaining about us and the doctor. And I was like,
wait,
okay.
I think you told me about that. Okay,
yeah.
Now my mom is, the approximate location of Susan has changed. Why is she in Oakland?
Oh, why is she in Oakland?
Well, she might be on BART.
Oh, okay. I thought she going to go somewhere. I don't know what's in Oakland, so.
Well, it's not. I've lived in Oakland. It's a little bit unsafe.
Is it rough?
Yeah,
it's a
around
rough
the
neighborhood.
edges.
Yeah,
it's
okay.
like a little sketchy.
But there's actually a really great restaurant there called Chez Panisse, which is like the start of like the whole farm to table movement.
Oh, like in downtown?
I think so.
There's also a very good place called Cookie Bar, and they have really good cookie sandwiches. They originated in Alameda, and then they moved to Oakland.
Oh.
So I need to go.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, hi.
Hi. Well, welcome, everyone. I'm Paul.
And I'm Joe.
And we're These Unprecedented Gays. Sorry, we got like wrapped up in our own
I know.
thing.
I feel like I'm going to have to see if my mom really is okay. Like, maybe, why would a location be sent to me?
Maybe she is in a trunk of somebody's
she
car.
doesn't know how to do that.
Is she in the boot if you were across the pond?
What's the boot?
That's what they call the trunk in, like, Europe.
The boot?
Yeah.
Like
the boot of a car. Like the end of the car.
Huh.
Yeah. See, learning something new. Infotainment.
The boot.
England, not Europe.
Well, England then. Okay, sorry.
Isn't England Europe?
England is in Europe, is it not?
Right?
It's one small part.
Yeah. Well, maybe like other places
in Europe. Wait, isn't Europe Europe's not a country, right? It's a region. No, isn't Europe a country? Is it a continent?
Isn't that like an M or an N or a P or a Q?
What? What is that?
That's a consonant.
Oh, stop. Well,
sorry about
I will say, like, vowels sometimes, though, because it's A-E-I-O-U and sometimes Y, W, or H, I think. Right?
No.
Well, Y is sometimes a vowel because, like, every word needs to have a vowel in it. So, like, M-Y, the Y is the vowel, I think. Don't quote me.
I'm not going to.
Okay. And, like, well, I don't know why W would be.
I don't know what W would be.
Like,
'Cause it
what
sounds
word
like-
has no letter with W?
Well, and not only that, but like, why do they call it W? Because it's double U.
U's, yeah.
But it's like, usually they look like V's. So why isn't it called double
A double
V?
V, yeah. Well, maybe when it was from whatever language we stole it from. Latin? Greek?
Well, actually, in French, it's double, which means two V's.
Oh, see? The French got it down.
Wait, yeah. In Spanish, W, yeah. Double.
Okay,
double V.
so why are we stupid?
I mean, it's America.
Okay.
Facts are facts.
Facts are facts, America. All right, so how are you doing, Joe?
Well, I'm worried about my mom right now. What if my mom is getting murdered right now and we're recording and I could have stopped it?
Oh my God,
Actually, I couldn't do anything. What am I going to do? Call the killer?
Are we like
hey, girl.
Are we one of those Are we one of those real crime murder podcasts now?
Okay, my mom is fine.
Oh, good.
It's apparently the quote unquote stupid phone. So I'm better now.
That ducking phone.
Yeah, quack quack, bitch. Quack quack. What were we talking about? You okay there?
I don't. You know what? It's like, how was your week?
Oh, well, my week was good now because my mom's alive.
Good.
But I saw you on the weekend, and we saw Andy's show, and I was very impressed.
I was very impressed too. They were like crisp.
They
were.
You know what? That's a very good word. That's
Thank you.
That's an adjective.
Okay.
Well, because you were like consonants and vowels.
We had an English podcast. Now we're an English grammar podcast.
Oh,
Look at
come
this.
on. We can wait until we get into the adverbs. Happily. Right? Yeah. No, that's not an adverb. No. Is it?
Yeah.
It's anything with an ly.
Is it? Is that what
Yeah.
it means?
Well, is golly an adverb? Or
Maybe.
jolly? Because jolly's. Anyway, my week was good, so that's a good way of describing it.
So
Crisp.
Andy is in. So if people don't know, Andy is in doing a barbershop chorus right now. When you think barbershop, it's like you think of four guys standing there. Actually, with it's a chorus of about 50, 60 people, and they have all ages, all genders, everything. So but it is funny because I want him to tell this story about when he was in behind the scenes and before the
BTS.
chorus. But he made a joke and it didn't go over so well.
Oh, no.
So Andy, you can tell that story. That'd be great.
Well, this wasn't behind the scenes. It was during a rehearsal.
Oh, God.
Yesterday, we had another rehearsal after the concert. And
That's behind the scenes.
BTS.
Yes.
well, but as we were sitting there on break, they had a party after the concert that one of the members graciously hosted, and some of the concert was two groups, our group and one from Los Angeles. That's an amazing group of barbershop singers, but they one of the members came to the party and brought Jell-O shots.
Oh, no.
And she was saying, oh, this guy brought Jell-O shots and he brought them in little syringes, and I was like, oh, he's gay, honey.
Oh.
Because that's a really common thing in gay bars.
That's a gay bar thing right there.
And I didn't mean anything by it. I was just making a joke, and you realize when it's not a gay chorus, that people can react negatively to that.
No. Did it not land
she's
well?
like, well, I don't know about his sexuality, but I don't. He brought a girlfriend.
Oh,
I was
no.
like, it's not that serious.
Did he bring a girlfriend or did he just bring a girl?
Oh, no. Was it just a friend?
Yeah, right? Maybe it was his hag.
But yeah, those Jell-O shots with the syringes, those are everywhere.
If they were in the little cups, I'd be like, okay, it's a frat party. But
maybe it was
you brought it in
because it's
syringes,
COVID, maybe. But where are you? I'm sorry, the nurses in the world need those syringes.
Okay.
There's a short supply chain. Hello.
Is there really?
I don't know. Paul, there's a supply chain issue everywhere. I had trouble getting here because of supply chain.
I don't think they're medical devices.
Yeah.
Oh, were they just for show? Probably from Amazon.
I want to be one day I'm not going to come into work, and then the next day my boss is going to be like,
Where
so
were
what
you?
happened? What happened? And I'm like, I don't have an excuse. I've run out of excuses. Supply chain problems.
Well, no, they might be medical because when you got your wisdom teeth out, you need the little syringe to clear.
for your bottom teeth, you have to have those syringes to kind of inject water in
and
there.
the top,
to kind of,
right?
Yeah.
All of them. No,
You don't really have to with the top ones because
I did. I carried that syringe around in high school. No, I carried a I think I got my wisdom teeth out the summer before I went to college. And oh my God, no, that's what it was. I was working at Starbucks and I brought it with me to Starbucks. So like I wouldn't get like a food infection or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to do it with the top ones because gravity will just do its work.
I didn't trust gravity.
She's a shady bitch.
Yeah. It's the only gravity I like is by Sarah Bareilles.
Oh, really?
Sarah Bareilles.
I like the one by John Mayer.
Oh yeah, that one's
That's a good
too.
one. Yeah.
And also like, the force that keeps us on the earth or something.
Yeah.
Something similar.
So how was the rest of your week besides?
We are so random. Well, we're always random.
Yeah, we're always random.
That was pretty much everything. Getting ready for just kind of wrapping up the year at work. And like the holidays and all the fun things and the torrential downpour that happened yesterday.
Oh my God, the great Christmas rain of 2021 here in San Diego.
Is that what we're calling it?
That's what I'm calling it.
I like it. The GCR 2021?
Yeah. Or GXR. If you want to go.
Oh, I was like, what?
Yeah, if you want to go.
Oh, because like
Xtina.
Okay. And how about thee?
It was a busy week because we finally had the Saturday was a busy day because I had my work's movie day.
Oh yeah, which movie was it?
Encanto, which was really good. I liked it. It would have been better if I could actually hear it very well because we had to turn it down because the theater was. Let's be real. AMC plays their stuff really loud. They just do. It's a given.
You asked them to turn down.
No. I didn't. Not because I'm old. But there are times when I'm about to be like, I think I might go ask the person.
I've been in the theater. Me and Nick went, and I was like, "Is it loud?"
It's really loud.
And I was like, "Is this? Am I like?" And I have sensitive ears. I was like, "Is this normal?"
Yeah. Because we had little kids in there.
Oh, okay.
Some of them were like scared of the loud noise and stuff like that. So we had to ask them to turn it down. Then add the fact that there's little kids in there. So when the movie's on, they're all
talking.
And I'm like, I'm trying to enjoy this Disney movie.
Down in front.
I'm like, this is not made for you, kids.
Isn't it a Disney movie?
It was really good, though.
I want to see it. It's the one about like the house and the girl who doesn't have like the power or whatever, and Lin-Manuel Miranda.
And the music's actually really good.
Okay, so like my only like hesitation.
Because you hate Lin-Manuel Miranda.
I don't hate him. I don't like his art or his music choice.
Because you watched In the Heights and didn't like it, but you haven't watched Hamilton.
It shouldn't have been In the Heights. It should have been in the opposite of Heights.
Well, and I know because like it did get monotonous after a while because it felt like the same song over and over and over again.
God, yes.
Which is hard, but like with Hamilton, he goes through everything like pop, rock.
See, I'm okay with that.
Rap,
In the Heights, I was like counting down the minutes until it was done. It was like, how is this movie not done?
Right.
Like, can we finish?
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, I want to go see West Side Story. So
is that him?
I have to go see that. No.
He's not West Side Story. Okay.
No, but I still want to go see it.
I've heard. I think I've heard good things.
Okay, you've heard good things.
I imagine that I might have heard something as a positive review of it by somebody I may have made up.
Okay.
Possibly.
So we had the movie day, and then we had Andy's concert, and then Sunday we kind of just like chilled and stuff. But before we get into the rest of it, because what happened later in the week kind of ties into what we're going to talk about today, we need to do
it.
Mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. So what's giving us life this week, Joe? What is giving you life?
Well, I have two things.
Okay.
So I don't know when I made cookies, but I think I made them in the last 7 days. Yeah, I think I did it on Friday.
Okay.
Maybe.
Because you didn't do it last week. So.
No. So I was craving these cookies that my grandma used to make, and they're basically like butter cookies with frosting in the middle.
Oh.
They're like sandwich cookies, and they like melt in your mouth. So they're like, it's flour, butter, and milk.
Oh.
And that's the dough. and then you bake it. Well, you roll it in sugar. So like,
Okay.
and then there's like it's a frosting, right? And so like, I didn't make the frosting. I probably should have, but they're so good. So those are giving me life. I don't know what they're called. They're just, my grandma just called them sandwich cookies.
Okay.
And that was it.
Fun.
And then the other thing that's giving me life is a song. I think it's called Easy by Troye Sivan and Casey Musgraves.
Oh, I love that song.
I guess I haven't been aware of it.
Yeah, it came out a while ago.
Yeah, but there's like a Mark Robinson or something, like remixing or whatever.
Oh.
But it's with Casey Musgraves. And so I was like, oh, this is really cool. It's very like 80s, like summery vibes. And I know it's not summer, but...
Yeah.
So that's what's giving me life. E2.
So I only have one thing that's giving me life, but it's the fact that we get to travel a lot more. Like Andy's got a lot of travel coming up, and I get to travel because I'm going to San Antonio, but I get to do it to do the meeting planning stuff that I usually do.
Okay.
And I haven't been able to do that in like 2 years. So I'm like, oh God, I can't wait to like get to San Antonio, see my people that I do the meeting planning with, and then actually do this. It's for a company. It's a company that's starting to build up. It's about 400 people. They do like a workforce type thing, and it looks like it's skews a little younger in that millennial type of vibe.
Oh no.
So they all are a family.
Oh God. I'm sorry, but when you have family vibes in any job description is toxic.
Well, and I'm like looking through their Instagram and their Instagram stories, and it's very much this whole like, oh, see me, I just had my baby, and see what I do, and all this. And it's like, okay, I get it. But also I'm looking at some of their stuff, and I'm like, gosh, you guys are
12.
Yes. Really is. It really is.
Are they like early 20s?
Yes.
What are they doing procreating at that age?
I know, but it's going to be like a meeting of like 400 people, and I'm like, oh, well, that's kind of cool. Like, that's not huge, but it's still like, because I'm used to doing like ones with a couple thousand people in them.
Oh, okay, come on, planner.
Okay,
but this is separate than the oral or than your marketing job.
Oh,
right?
yeah. This is totally separate, so I get flown wherever I need to be. And
okay. Are you getting in? What's it? First class?
No.
Do they still have that?
They do, but I think it's called like business class, and there's still like first class, but for the most part, it's like business class, especially if you're going like international. I think. Because then you get those pods.
I was just gonna say, like, do they feed you still or no?
I think so. Yeah. Andy's done it from like here to Taiwan and stuff. He used to fly it all the time.
That's a long flight.
He flew on the Hello Kitty plane.
Oh, did you? Oh, I love Hello Kitty. Do you remember the stores when they used to have them?
Yeah, the Sanrios. And they still now do
Sanrio
pop-ups.
Surprise.
Yeah.
Those were the best. I would go with my my grandma and we would go, and I liked the Pachaco. Pachaco?
Oh, the little frog.
Pachaku? No, the little dog.
Oh, the dog. Okay.
Frog was Karopi. How do I remember this?
Because you're gay.
Yes. It's true.
I don't know. He came with his girlfriend.
I did. Yeah.
So, all right. So getting into what we're going to talk about this week. So this week we're going to talk about like natural disasters and accidents, like more than just like pooping your pants, but like
is it because whenever we show up to the scene, we cause an earthquake or like a tornado because we're that cool?
I'm like, every time I walk in the room, it's a man hurricane.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Come on, Tadra.
Come on, Tadra Call.
I still want all of the outfits from that video.
From the
Raining
Fellas?
Yeah, there's like the really cool like rain jacket that's clear and he's got the boots. And I want everything. I could probably make it.
My favorite part is the one where they're all naked and
but the rest is drag.
Yeah. So anyway, the reason why we're going to talk about this is because during the great Christmas rain of 2021 that just happened,
2021,
Andy called me at work. I'm at work at the restaurant, and so I had to step off the line, and I'm like, is everything okay? Because I'm like, he never really calls me.
Oh,
like,
why?
We live in 2021. Nobody ever really calls anyone. It's all text and stuff.
That's true.
I was like, something had to have happened, and I hope he's okay, and I hope Cooper's okay. Come to find out that a palm tree, like, basically, I would say like a 20-foot palm tree.
40-foot.
40-foot palm tree in front of our house fell on our house.
The Wicked Witch of the West, we know.
Right. And so I'm like, oh my God, are you okay? Is Cooper okay? Is the house okay? In that order. Everything's fine. He then sends pictures later. And my shift's almost over. Like, he calls me at like, this happened at like 2:30.
So my shift's over at 3. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll be home soon. So hopefully nothing else happens. But Andy's going to tell his side of the story because he was actually here when the tree fell.
Yeah, so I work from home, so I was on a call with one of my colleagues from work talking about a marketing email we were going to send, and all of a sudden there was this huge bang, and it literally shook the house, and
the house was shooketh.
Yeah. Gooped. So I had no idea what it was, and I kind of went through all the rooms downstairs. I looked out the backyard. I went upstairs, looked for what
Something
could possibly
that fell,
have caused this. Like it felt like a dresser had fallen over or something. It was that loud, and nothing was out of sorts. And finally, I looked out the front window upstairs to see the tree literally coming up past the window and up to the top of the roof of the upstairs. So I went outside, and literally the tree blew from the ground. The roots and everything turned up, and it caught the corner of our porch, and then it arched up just over the top of our upstairs second floor roof. We'll post pictures about it. So then called 911 just to let them know. I didn't know if it was unsafe.
And I don't know who to call.
Yeah, I was just obviously not
call?
Ghostbusters.
Well, even the police officers who came in, they were super nice. They came pretty quickly, but even when they showed up, they were like, "We're not really sure who to call for this."
Well, is it like a natural disaster?
I feel like this is something they should teach you in school.
Yeah, and also how to do your taxes. Not that the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell.
Like, they need to have this whole course where it's like, this is common sense stuff. Like, this is how you put gas in your car. This is how you check your oil. This is who to call if a tree falls on your house.
Well, gas is going away because we're all going to have Teslas.
Oh, okay.
So,
Elon.
okay, I was thinking about this. So, Andy, if you didn't look through the window, imagine that situation where someone knocks on your door and they're like, "Hey, there's a tree on your house." Because if I were in this situation, I would have been like, "Oh, it's a bang, whatever, fine, right? Doop doop doop, continue on with my life." And then someone would have had to notify me that there's a tree on my house.
Yeah, it was. I mean, you couldn't walk by the sidewalk because the trunk of the tree was.
Yeah,
that's how close it was.
So it was blocking the actual walkway.
Yeah, it was blocking the actual walkway because it pulled up part of the. You know how there's our house, and then the sidewalk. And then there's the grassy area right near the road. It pulled up a whole part of that.
And this is the sidewalk that they just put in, right?
It's a city tree.
It's a
city sidewalk.
Oh God!
City sidewalk.
Something holiday cheer. I was like, I don't know the words.
But so I get home, and in the time, the hour it takes for him to call me and for me to get home, it fell as one piece, one big whole piece. And then in that time, the tree itself, under its own weight, broke off.
Oh my God, this is like the Titanic.
Right, it truly is. It's exactly what it is. And so the good thing is that it fell, the way it fell, part of it was then, as soon as it snapped, it was supported by the chimney.
But did it bend and snap?
Oh, it was bending, and then it snapped.
And was there enough room for Jack on the float?
It took 20 minutes, and the orchestra played out.
Did death drop?
But when the police came, so there's 2 police officers here. The first one who showed up was actually kind of cute.
Okay.
But he was young.
Would he be
12
a
years
good
old.
demographic of the people you're going to go into San Antonio?
So he looked like he was 12.
Okay.
We're like,
how old do you have to be a police officer? 18?
I don't know. I
No.
think 21.
If you're a police officer and you listen to us, please tell us.
Right. But also it's oh my God, you look like you're on for a ride-along right now.
But he wasn't.
But he wasn't. He was a police officer.
Oh my God.
They gave him a gun.
Right. And I'm and then another guy came, and I was when he showed up, I'm what's going on with his face? Because it looked like he had a growth on his lip or something. But it was just because he was chewing.
Oh.
He had chew in his mouth.
Chewing what?
Tobacco.
Oh, tobacco. People still do that.
People still do that.
You need to you need to find him and show him the commercial about the old woman that chewed tobacco, and it was don't smoke cigarettes or chew tobacco, and then the lower jaw got removed, and then she had no lower jaw.
Well, I dated a guy for a year or two who used to chew all the time. And it was kind of disgusting because you see little like bottles
There's
of like
some
water
spittoons.
bottles. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when we did our Spit or Swallow episode, I'm telling you, like a spittoon.
I can't wait for people to hear that episode because Andy found that sound and it's awesome.
Yeah. Okay, so hot cops.
So yeah, and then the other guy who was just, who was chewing and spitting out. So and also like I was thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, I appreciated them showing up and I appreciated them and their response really quickly. Like I really do. Like thank you so much for caring and stuff like that. But also it was like if we had people whose job it was as say like a police liaison to come out to these.
Oh, like a tree falling group.
Right. Like, these are kind of like the things like they don't need to, I don't need somebody holstering a gun.
What kind of crime was committed at your home?
But anyway.
Other than the death drop of the season. Or sorry, the bend and snap of the season.
So then they called the fire department, which they came.
Oh my God.
It was a lot of drama on the street for us.
Who ended up actually taking the tree away?
So then they called the city division.
Oh, Lord.
So the fire department called, and I guess our landlord called too, probably.
How did he know? Did you call him?
Oh, our landlord's a female, and she had already. Andy had already told her that the tree fell and gave her pictures and stuff. Because I'm like,
hey, girl, your house hurt.
First thing out of my mouth was, "Did you get pictures? Did you send it to Mariella?"
Yeah.
Because I'm like, you ain't blaming this on me.
Well, I mean, let's be real. How in the hell would someone force a tree?
I don't know.
True.
You don't know my strength. You don't know.
I mean, you could have death dropped, and then the tree was like, "Got to do it."
Yeah, I'm gagged, America. So the fire department. So they called City Division, and then Andy called City Division, and he's like on the phone with the woman who answers, and she's like, "Yeah, we've already got that call." A couple of times, and
From
we're like,
who?
"Oh, sorry."
Well, no, she wasn't rude.
Like
She wasn't rude,
like the neighborhood.
but it was like, no, I think from the fire department and our landlord and stuff like that.
And it could have been passersby calling it in.
Right, because like we were also very popular with people taking pictures.
I would have been like, "Don't you call on my house." I get that you're like trying to help out, but no, this is mine.
But like people were stopping on the side of the road to like take pictures of our house. Yeah,
You should have charged them
right
$20.
Well, some people even asked permission to take a picture, which I thought was really considerate.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Always ask for permission, unless
But-
you don't.
It was just funny because then they showed up later, like around 5:30, 6 o'clock or so, and then one person showed up, and then the whole crew showed up, and we're like, "Are you guys going to do this tonight?" And they're like, "Oh yeah." I mean, they shut it down. They shut the whole street down. They told us it's like, we'd really rather you not be in the house when this happens, so you need to leave
Just to be safe.
Yeah.
So
Where'd you go?
A crane, a cherry picker, a backhoe, and dumpster all arrived.
I was already here, America.
That was the front house.
Then a front home.
But it was really cool to actually watch them do it, because I'm like, we can, like, they took the one guy on the crane, lifted him up onto the roof of the house, and I'm like, he could have just like gone through the bathroom window or something, but I think he just wanted to ride up on the crane.
Oh, I would, yeah. So did they were they like tree removal people?
So I guess it's like a tree removal service of the city, because they were doing it all day. Because like one guy said like they had seen like 80 trees so far that day that had fallen.
Oh, because of the GXR 21.
Right, but it's also like, people have to come out and take a look to survey it and see, okay, is this you have to prioritize it.
Yeah.
Like, because you had a branch fall in the street, it's different than if it's a tree on somebody's house.
Yeah,
So they brought the crane in, they strapped it up.
Oh.
And then they pulled the tree away from the house. And because it had cracked, it was easier for them to chainsaw it in that spot.
Did you have them cut a wafer off, and then you could use it and stain it and then make it something that you could put on your table?
But there's a stump out there, so if we want to, we can take a piece out of that.
I mean, do you have a chainsaw?
I think so. We're butch queens, girl.
Ooh, okay.
Andy is anyway.
I can get you one. We can go to chainsawrental.com. Right. I feel like I would be flagged. No, I feel like people still rent chainsaws.
Yeah, people still rent chainsaws.
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, if it's not Michael Myers, we're fine. Or what's the chain? Jason.
Jason, yes.
Was he a chainsaw? I don't know.
Oh no, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Leatherface.
God.
There you go.
Thank you.
So, but these trees are like they were saying. Oh, these trees are really hard to cut. Like we might go through a couple of chains for this because the inside of it
What
is
chain?
really,
On the chainsaw.
on the chainsaw.
Oh my God! I did it.
So they were like, it's really fibrous in the inside, so it's really hard for us to cut some of them sometimes and stuff like that. But it went through like butter.
Ooh,
Like
maybe because it was
butter.
wet.
Probably, or because it was already cracked. But then the other ones were
Or
fine
maybe
too.
they had some sharp chains.
Maybe. There
Maybe
you
it was
go.
2 chains.
Yeah.
Oh!
We're so manic.
I
love
know,
us.
it's true. So they got that off, and I took a video, and I'll post it when they were lifting it up off the house and putting it down on the ground, the top part. And then they came in and pulled, using the backhoe, I think it was. They used they pulled the other half of the tree away from the house.
Oh, a backhoe's not like a small hoe, like a garden hoe?
No, this is like full-on construction kind of
Oh,
stuff.
damn.
Like,
Okay.
I mean, they brought everything.
Oh my God.
Even like a
wow.
dumpster to put the tree in, so
Well,
they could cart it
naturally.
away.
Yeah.
But I'm like a huge one.
Oh.
They were done in 45 minutes.
Yeah, and I mean the guy driving the backhoe was like crazy because I'm like, oh, he gonna hit this car. Oh, he gonna hit that car. Oh, he gonna do that because he was just like.
And were you just watching while they were doing this?
We stood across the street to watch them because I'm like, I want to make sure they don't do anything to our house.
Yes. Oh my God.
Because sometimes that happens. Like,
What would they have done? Like broken it?
I don't know, but also I was like scared when they were bringing the top part of the tree down.
And you brought Cooper with you, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we didn't leave him in here. But I was like worried that they were going to hit a car with the tree too. That was just like, it was ridiculous.
Can
how
you
full it was.
imagine? And then they're like, oops, sorry. File a claim with your insurance. Our bad. Hashtag Mother Nature. Oops.
And like there was a couple of people that kind of stood around and watched. There was like one guy who was like explaining the whole thing to his girlfriend, and I was just
Oh,
like,
I was like, what?
Mansplaining.
nerd.
What was he explaining? How trees fall?
Well, he was trying to explain to her how they were going to do it. Like they're
They
going to
cut
do
it
this,
up.
they're going to use this, they're going to do that. And I'm like, no one cares.
No. They have the front hoe. They got the back hoe.
I know.
And then they got rid of your tree.
Exactly. So now we have a stump in front of our house. It was the tallest tree on our street.
Oh.
So
And they're city trees.
they're city trees. So,
So they're at fault.
and I mean,
No fault.
I mean, not fault, but it's like, who is going to pay for this because it was an act of Mother Nature, an act of God. So it's like, if you believe in that, like that's what it is.
Mother Nature, yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean, it's the land at which the tree originated from.
right, and there's like the city. I think they called them the city arborists.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, we got a name here, huh?
Yeah. Arborists, that's tree people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like Arbor Day. Oh, that's
When's
Tree
that?
Day. I don't know.
I don't get it off.
I don't either. So I don't really care what
We
it is.
should. Now that you're a victim of arborism.
Oh my God. In remembrance. So we have PTSD now. Palm tree stress disorder.
Stop it. Stop it. I am okay with this. I am very much okay with that.
So that's our like story for like what happened to us. So
I still feel like where did they take the tree? Are they going to make it into paper?
I don't know.
Are they going to go?
They cut it into small enough pieces to fit in the dumpster and drove off with it. So I'm assuming
You
they're
should
gonna
find out where the
grind it.
dumpster is and take one of the pieces because that would
It's
be like
large
really,
pieces though.
Like how big?
Like about
the
as
size.
tall as me.
The couch.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they
well,
cut it-
I mean, you have your chainsaw. Just go cut a small little portion.
I
'Cause
think I
that's,
said-
that's free, like centerpieces that you have to pay good money for. You could treat that wood.
I'm gonna make it into a charcuterie board.
Yeah.
A charcuterie board.
Yes. Oh my god. And you can do it on OnlyFans, and then people will watch you make this, and then you'll get money.
Oh, actually, Aiden, Andy's son, has been doing woodworking and like staining and stuff.
Okay,
so.
I was definitely not expecting that to go in that way.
Oh.
I was like, I thought you were gonna say he started an OnlyFans. And I was like, good for him. Also, let me know how it's going, because I would love to quit my job. Okay, so woodworking works too, I guess. Like the lathe. Is he doing like the spinny thing? Like you put the wood and then you go like the spinny thing, right?
Yeah, it's called a lathe. And you know how I know what that is?
Because from This Old House?
No.
Oh.
But I did used to watch that.
It was great, yeah.
But because I was watching School of Chocolate on Netflix, and they used that on that show.
That popped up as like a suggestion, and I was like, what the?
It's really good.
Is it just about like chocolatiering?
Yes, it's just about chocolatiering and people making things just out of chocolate.
And they probably are like super realistic?
Yes.
Okay.
It's amazing.
Would you recommend?
I would recommend, but you're not going to watch it.
Yeah. I mean...
Let's be real.
Very likely.
So
I'll watch an episode and then I won't finish it. That's what I do.
So tell me about a time when you like had an accident or something, like either a car accident or a bicycle accident. Or...
Well, so I've been in 2 car accidents and I think 2 bike accidents. I've never had like a tree fall on my house. I'm trying to think, when I was younger, we lived by a creek and the creek would flood sometimes and it would like flood and then it would come onto the street and then it would come kind of like up, not on the property, but like, I think the worst we had when I was younger was like a fence fell over or something.
See, now I when I see the news on like towns that have flooded and the flood is like all the way up to like the people's roofs, I'm like, how does that happen to a town?
Rain.
You know?
Lady Gaga was like, rain on me.
I guess so. But I'm also like, doesn't the water have somewhere to go? Like,
well, I guess it might be infrastructure. I don't know. It's always in the South. Oh. We love y'all in the South. In like, what? Louisiana.
Louisiana. I mean, I don't know why I mean, I can understand when there's like a dam involved, like nearby, like you live near a dam or something like that. But I'm just like, it's like traffic.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how this happens because there's like just
flooded
miles
over
of road.
Hillcrest. You saw all that water over there. Like, it floods. And I don't know if it like goes down the storm drain. But then where does it go? Does it eventually get like routed back to the ocean?
Some of these go back to the ocean, yeah. Interesting.
I wonder if you could like have like a floaty and like see where it goes.
That also like always like when I see towns that flood too, I'm always worried. I'm like, I see the people on the top of the roofs and I'm like, I'm so sorry for you. But like, what about the pets?
Yeah.
Like, where are they?
But also then where do you go? Like, you're just stuck there.
Right.
And I always say like that's like the hurricane part of the country where it's like, you kind of know if you live there that you're like going to have to potentially deal with that.
Well, right? And I've lived in Florida where there, hurricanes all the time.
Where
like,
have you lived in flooding?
No, I haven't lived in flooding, so that's a good thing. Orlando is pretty good about like not getting flooded because we have so much rain. Mm-hmm. So, but as like I remember this one particular year where the guy that I was actually dating who used to chew tobacco.
Oh God.
Decided he was going to leave me.
He was going to what?
He was going to leave me. He was leaving. He was like going to move away. And we had just gotten a dog not too long before that, a puppy. And he left the puppy with me too. And its name was Elliot, after Bill Elliott, who was a driver in NASCAR.
Okay.
And so this hurricane was going to be, it was supposed to be bad. And so I'm like, got this new place. It's like a 2-story condo. And I'm trying to figure out, do I need to go to Home Depot and get wood to cover these sliding glass doors, which are my only windows in the house? Like, freaking out. Like, I don't even know how to do this. Like, how do I put this up?
Yeah, add it to the list of things to learn how to do.
Right.
In school. Thank you.
And so I am like on the stairs. So like there's the stairs were go up and then a landing and then go up again. So me and the dog were on the landing, the first landing between the 2 staircases, like huddled during the hurricane. That's where we slept because it was so bad.
Really?
Yeah. The thunder and lightning and the rain was just coming in. It felt like it was coming up from the ground.
Yeah,
like,
thank you.
That's how bad it was. And that's even like with a puppy, it's worse because
they're scared.
They're scared and they can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
So I'm like trying to put stuff down so the dog can go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
In the house, but also teach it not to go to the bathroom in the house.
Great time to potty train.
Right?
Oh my God.
But it's scary. Like a hurricane is weird, but like for me, I think I'd rather have a hurricane than like a fire.
I'd rather have neither. If I could pick, I'd like, but also like, I don't want a tornado because those are scary.
Like the ones in Kentucky and Illinois that they
All
just
of
had.
them, yeah.
Especially with the people in the Amazon factory.
Yeah,
Did
like
you hear
I
about
don't
that?
like just. I mean, I've seen Twister. I know how it works.
There's a cow.
Yeah. Like I know you have to get the Diet Coke cans and throw it in there, and then it stops the tornado.
But there's like people who are storm chasers.
Yeah, no, thank you.
That's what they want to do. Like they want to like.
Look, I'm happy for you, but no thanks. I'm gonna sit in a place that has no natural disasters. The worst thing that we could have here is an earthquake. But, like, we're not on a major fault line. I think there's a couple of smaller ones, but, like, it's not going to level us. Like, we're going to be fine.
But, like, have you ever, like, you felt the earthquakes here before, right?
Not here.
Okay.
I mean, I felt earthquakes in general, for sure. But, yeah, I haven't had many natural disaster.
See, now, we were in Riverside a couple of years ago.
Not a couple years ago, but that's where the last earthquake I felt was.
Yeah, it was like a pretty large one, but it was weird because we were up in Riverside to go see Pentatonics in concert, along with Home Free, and Home Free has like this guy who can hit amazing bass notes, and he hit it, and we think the earthquake happened at the same time he hit like this really low note. No lie, because we're like, I felt that one.
Oh my
God. Then we're leaving and we're heading home and we're like, no, there was an earthquake. We're like, oh shit. No lie, I swear to God, that's exactly what happened.
Sometimes like the bass is so low that you're like, wow. It reverberates.
And then like were you here for the fire that was like 8 years ago, I think it was?
Yeah, we got evacuated. I lived in North County at the time, and we got evacuated on about 30 minutes notice.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
And 8 years ago?
Yeah, and
I mean,
the fire came within a mile of our house.
No, I think that would have been longer than that because we've been together 9 years. So
yeah, so it would have been about 11 years.
Right? I was not here.
But, I mean, there was a fire that happened up in North County also, like Escondido and stuff like that. And we lived in Poway, and some friends of ours were getting evacuated from where they were over in Black Mountain area. And that's the thing that scares me about fires, like, around here, because fire is, like, unpredictable and volatile. Whereas a hurricane, it's like, you kind of have, like, a day or so to kind of figure out where it's going to go and stuff like that. Fire, it's like, it jumped the freeway. The fuck?
The fact that that happens is, like, insanely scary.
Right? I'm like...
I'll take lightning and rain. That's fine. But, like, fires, I'll take earthquakes. I don't want a hurricane. I don't want flooding. I don't want a tornado. I feel like fires, like, I could be like, okay, I'm fine with that. Like, it's burning down my livelihood, whatever. Right? I have all the things I care about, which is me, myself, and, my dog and people I love, yada, yada, yada. But, like... I mean...
See, a fire to me is like the scariest thing because I was even, when it was happening, I was texting Andy and I'm like, do we need to go? Do I need to grab stuff? Do I need to evacuate? He's like, did they say to evacuate? He's like, but no, but still. He's like, then you're fine.
Well, and do you have your kit? Always have your emergency kit. Do you have an emergency kit?
We don't have an emergency kit.
I don't either. Because I figured I'll just deal with it when I get there. But I will say, after COVID hit and like everyone panic bought, I really thought about having an emergency kit, and I didn't get one.
It still wasn't that much of an emergency for you.
Everything got stuck back in. My mom was like, well, you never know. And I'm like, if I'm in an emergency, I'll like travel somewhere. I don't know.
And I'm like, I feel like we're central enough that and urban enough that
there's nothing that can hurt us. No tsunami is going to come this way. No earthquake's going to level us.
Great. Joe just jinxed us.
No, there's no tsunami because we're like a couple miles from the ocean. Like
we're not that far from the ocean. A wave of us in the size of a tsunami will still hit us. Yes, it will.
No.
Yes.
No. How much inland can they go? Aren't we like 3 miles east?
Some of those waves can reach. You do know, like a tsunami takes everything.
Well, but we have
and
Mission
then-
Hills, right? It has to come up the hill. We're uphill crest, like, and then like I'm further east than you, so I'm good.
So you're good.
And then it has to go down a little bit and then up again, so I'm good. Come at me, tsunami. I see you. Like, no, I'm good. And like all of the houses here are built to like be withstanding in earthquakes because it's like they're one level or two that are like earthquake proof, right? I think that's the thing.
I don't know because our house was built a while ago, like 1920s. So I don't know if it's actually earthquake proof anymore.
I may want to move.
There's never been property damage attributed to an earthquake in San Diego County.
Yeah, we are in like the primest of real estate to avoid natural disasters.
I mean, besides a tree falling on your house
And fires.
and
possibly a tsunami. Asterisk, not likely.
But also, I'm glad I've never had to deal with this. But like, we were in DC, and that's when snowpocalypse happened. We were
Snowpocalypse?
There was like this storm that came through, and it was like there was snow everywhere. Like we couldn't even we didn't know if we were going to get out of.
In?
We were worried we were going to get snowed in because there was just so much snow. I've never dealt with that. I don't know what happens.
I wouldn't do well. That's my boss. She was living in Chicago during it was like the polar vortex or something.
Oh my god!
I think she said it was minus 40.
Oh jeez, with the wind chill factor, yeah.
Yeah, and she had to go out to like move her car, and like her eyelashes.
Were they
froze.
gonna street sweep or something? Still,
I know. I was like, I'm sorry, but who's gonna be out street sweeping?
I'm like, and anyway,
I think you get a pass.
Can you find your car? Because I'm pretty sure the snow was very heavy at that time.
Yeah, and like polar vortex or something.
Right. I think where it says like parking here only except I'm sure the sign said except for polar exception polar
Yeah.
Polar
You can do
vortex. I can't even say it.
Polar vortex.
It's a very hard tongue twister.
Polar vortex.
But like, so her eyelashes froze.
Not shut, but like she had like frozen stuff on them. Frozen.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
Yeah, imagine if a drag queen were out in that weather and the drag queen's lashes were fake, and it's like, oh my god,
I can't even take my lashes off.
They're frozen to me.
Maybe that's like a drag queen name, Polar Vortex.
Oh.
How
would you spell it? But I feel like polar, it's like, like you polar.
Oh, maybe
No.
like polar, like Amy Polar.
Oh.
Maybe
Like
it should
with an
be
H?
Amy Polar Vortex.
Yes.
There you go.
Oh. I'm buying it. Where
But
are we
also,
seeing
I'm
it?
always worried, like, do I want to live in a place where it snows that
No.
heavily and like the weight of the snow? Because that's also
No.
a natural disaster. Because
Yeah.
people are always worried if it snows too much, it'll like cave in their houses, right?
Yeah, that's why you don't
Like,
live
you can
there.
worry about that?
The snow melts and it turns into ice, and then it gets heavier because more concentrated. The water, frozen water,
Yeah,
that's
no
what'll
thanks.
damage your.
And like, I have friends that live in like they were my ex's family who live in like Massachusetts, and they used to worry because they'd have to buy their gas like ahead of time.
Gasoline?
Like gas to power their house and their furnace and everything. They have to buy that ahead of time.
Oh my god.
Like enough to get them through the winter.
Where'd they put it? Like in their barn? Because like people have barns over there.
They don't have a barn.
I mean, if you have a winter's full of gas
Or oil.
Or oil. Okay.
well, but
maybe
then
not
I'd be
gas.
worried about that catching on fire
But
and
I'd
blowing up.
But I'd have a whole winter full of gas.
Me too. I have a full year's supply of gas. I blame the broccoli.
Broccoli.
Brock ally.
So stupid. So anything like another
No
like,
natural disasters for me. I mean, I think I talked about one of the car accidents where some guy hit my door. The other one though that I have caused an accident, and I was in LA, and I had just moved to LA, and I was like touring around or whatever, and I was on the phone with my mom, and it was like Bluetooth call or whatever, and I was getting on an on-ramp, and I was like, oh my god, that's the Staples Center, and like I looked over, and then when I turned back, I rear-ended a woman.
Oh.
And it was like a Honda CR-V. Those are built well.
Okay.
Yeah. There was no damage to this woman's back of her car. And my whole, like, the whole hood, it was like, ooh.
Yeah.
There was a lot of damage to my
Well,
car.
like, it could have been a guy, and it could have been cute, and it could have been, like, whole little meat cute, like
I
in a
know.
rom-com.
I know. That would have been really nice. Like, hey, I'm sorry I hit your car. But it was like a middle-aged woman.
But let me give you my number, and maybe we can...
I hit your car, but you can hit me later.
I hit you from behind, so I guess it's fair. It's fair play that you do the same.
But also it was LA, so like people probably were like, whatever.
Yeah.
Are you in the movie industry? I don't want to talk to you. I don't like you.
So, speaking of car accidents, Andy has a really funny story.
That microphone just
I know,
dropped.
that was a natural disaster.
Well, that could have hit your genitalia.
Oh, it could have. That would have been a natural disaster.
It would have been a very big natural disaster. Worse than...
Well, not that big.
It would have been life... Paul, it would have been life-changing, and you would have had another form of PTSD.
So, Andy's going to tell a story about his car accident.
So mine goes back to high school, and I wasn't the driver. It was my friend Ed at the time was driving, and he had a Volkswagen
Ed.
Scirocco.
What's a Scirocco?
An old Volkswagen sedan-y kind of thing.
Not like a bug.
No.
No. This is like it looked almost like a Toyota.
I think it looks more like a Subaru.
Yeah, maybe.
But a Scirocco.
Yeah, I like that.
It's a great...
How do you spell it?
Scirocco.
I would have not. I would have been like, Kriako.
Okay, so just to give you a little here's a little
Kriako.
fun fact about that. There's actually an episode of Family Guy where Stewie's like, she has a little box that is full of mints and a key to a Volkswagen Scirocco.
So even funnier side story about Volkswagen Scirocco. One of the guys I worked with in high school at a grocery store, his name was Russell Shirtliff.
Oh.
And he drove a Scirocco, and he had a lisp.
Oh,
so his name was Russell Shirtliff, and he had a Scirocco.
Oh my God.
All the cards were against him.
I would change my name.
All right. So the setting is New York suburbs. We lived in New Jersey, just about 30 minutes from New York City. And at the time, New Jersey changed their drinking age from 18 to 19. The same year I turned 18. So we could still go into New York and drink legally.
Yeah.
So my friend Ed and I had gone to a play really close to the New York, the tunnel that would get you into New York City. And after the play, we're like, let's go into our favorite bar, McSorley's, that we went to when we were just in New York a couple
We
weeks
make
ago.
a stop every time. Hit us up, McSorley's, if you want to sponsor us.
So we were at McSorley's and didn't only had like one drink each, but driving home, we're driving through the Lincoln Tunnel, which is about a mile-long tunnel that goes underneath the Hudson River.
Okay.
And halfway through the tunnel, a pink Cadillac right in front of us stopped short. Now it's about 1 a.m.
Aretha is not in this pink Cadillac. Or Natalie Cole.
The pink Cadillac gets we rear-end it, and this Scirocco.
You were in it? Okay.
Yeah, and the Scirocco had their all the fuses for the car were in underneath the hood. So the only damage we could tell was that you couldn't get the hood open, and the fuse box was all the fuses were loose. So there was no way to power the car back up or open the hood to put the fuses back in.
Okay.
So we ended up. What do you do at 1 a.m. when you're in the middle of the Lincoln Tunnel and New York City traffic's going around you, zooming around you? 2 lanes in the tunnel, so there's no way to get a tow truck in there. So a big truck with a big battering ram kind of thing on the front pushes you out of the tunnel. So my friend Ed's car got pushed out. It took like 45 minutes to get the car out of the tunnel, and then he had to call his dad at like almost 2 a.m.
Like at a payphone?
to come and pick us up, which is it's like one of those dad calls you never want to get.
Yeah.
And all I can imagine is like the battering ram thing pushing you out of the Lincoln Tunnel, and that's just like
And you're just like, hey.
that's like a gay like allegory right there.
We death by battering ram.
But I'm like, could you imagine that happening? Like
I don't.
you
Tunnels
hit
are
a pink
interesting.
Cadillac.
But did they stop just for fun?
We don't know. It wasn't related to traffic. It was just like all of a sudden it stopped short. And cars don't give that much distance between them.
No. In the Lincoln Tunnel because they want to get out.
So, it wasn't like a drunk driving thing, or it was just like there was no way to react quick enough. And
isn't that crazy?
I'd be so mad.
But like, that's life. Stuff like that happens. So it's like with the tree on our house, people were like, "Are you guys okay?" It's like, "Oh yeah, that's fine." Then like, what are you gonna do about it? Like,
you call the insurance,
right?
Yeah.
Like,
well,
say,
and if
hey.
you have to have a tree fall on your house, I mean, it fell in the very best possible way it could.
It could have
to
fell
do the least amount of damage.
Yeah, and if it fell either way, and just like by a little bit, it would have done a lot more damage. So,
I was curious because I'm like, are they going to tarp your tent, or are they going to tarp your what's it called, roof from the rain? Because I was like, there's got to be, the way that it looked from the pictures, I was like, this is insane damage.
Yeah, no.
And I was like, they're going to have flooding in their house.
Oh my God, could you imagine? That's what I thought too when I was driving home.
You already had flooding upstairs.
I know. And that's the other thing. It's like, that started at the beginning of the year. And of course, this happened at the end of the year. I'm like,
full circle.
Our landlords are like,
well, at least you're done with like water issues.
Yes, hopefully.
For now. Knock on wood.
We're just like, we're out there, we're watching these guys, and we're like, we are like the biggest drama queens who just want all the attention because like we have closed the street down.
What else did you close the street down for? Or just this?
Oh, just this.
Oh,
Just
I
this.
thought you had closed it down for other reasons.
No.
Do you want to?
I mean, I would love it, but
I would, yeah, let's close it down. Let's like, what can we do? Well, there was that cop chase. Didn't they?
Oh yeah,
Didn't they
like,
shut down the street?
right by at Halloween, but that has nothing to do with me. It's like, I wasn't involved in that, so it's not really my accident or anything. So, but anyway, so that was fun talking about all that.
Was it fun though? Like in the moment. Now that a day has passed. A day.
Oh, you mean? Oh, I was like, you didn't think this was fun?
No, like I feel like for me, like I do very well under like very like stressful situations, stuff like that, where I'm like, we're fine, like cool, calm, and collected. But like then after the fact, you'd be like, wow, oh my God, unrelated, but kind of. But like I remember one time I was driving over the bridge, the Bay Bridge, with my friend Rachel, and I had just gotten my license. Maybe I was like 17 or whatever. And like when you get off of the Bay Bridge, all the lanes merge together, and like I was not paying attention, and like the lanes were merging, and like we almost got hit by like 5 cars. I just thought of that because that was like a potential accident that could have happened. But like, so the reason why I thought of that, because like I turned to her after and I was like, we totally could have just died. And I was like, you're good, right?
On that note, thanks for joining us, everyone. Have a great week.
Special thanks to Andrew Smith and Nick Stone for producing the show. If you like us, please follow us at tugayspod on Instagram and visit us online at tugayspod.com. You can find us anywhere you can stream podcasts. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and let us know topics you'd like to hear. And always remember, stay safe, stay classy, stay sassy, and always stay a little bit trashy. See you next week.